Greetings, my fellow Bigfoot Sasquatch curiositors. This evening, I invite you to join me for another adventure as we retrace our steps from last night's adventure, as several people pointed out in the comment section that in the first 3 minutes of last night's video, and yes, I saw that, they noticed what appeared to be potential Bigfoot Sasquatch faces in the tree line. And I saw that too. And yes, we do happen to be standing just outside of where there's an unmarked grave site that's just over 100 years old right now. I cannot promise you anything, as always, at least as far as seeing or hearing anything out of the ordinary. We may or we may not. All I can guarantee you is that any amount of time you spend watching this video from this point forward is time you'll never get back. No matter how hard you try, you're never going to get it back. You're never going to get it. To quote that smoking hot trio from the early 1990s, who actually started out as a smoking hot quartet in 1989, In Vogue, you're never gonna get it, gonna get it, never gonna get it, gonna get it. Never gonna get it, gonna get it, never gonna get it. Gonna get it. So, as always, I'll ask you to get my 6. You know, a lot of people have been calling me out on this strategy I have. I have my own particular strategy I use here when I'm looking for potential Bigfoot Sasquatch. If you're new to these adventures, you just kind of witnessed it. I kind of talk about random stuff and I make it look like I'm not looking, because a lot of times I'm not looking. Like in the background, I'm letting you guys look, and then I go back and look in slow-mo and fast-mo, just like any good, football coach watching tapes of previous games of the team they're going to be playing next. It's right here in this area. Actually, right there's the graves back in there. Sometimes you can see the tombstones, depending upon how the light casts back into the forest. So anyway, I'll just talk about random things while you guys do the looking for me. That way, if there's any Bigfoot Sasquatch around us, and yes, I saw that, they don't really know I'm looking for them. At least that's what I like to tell myself. But a lot of you folks say that he, she, they, or it already knows. No, this wasn't the area. It was a place that looked like it was like a dwelling or an abode of some sort. Now, guys, you see there's snow everywhere. It might have been snow. Some people were saying they saw like a face on a tree. Maybe it was snow on a tree that looked like a face, and maybe that snow's gone. Or maybe it was something else. But we'll be heading back up into the forest where we went last night. I gotta record longer after I think I'm finished. Every time I turn this thing off, it's like I hear tree knocks. It's like something's watching and they wait for me to stop recording, then they knock on trees. So tonight, I'm going to pretend as if I've stopped recording when I actually haven't. But yeah, we're covering a tree line, and to my best memory, I'm just kind of stopping and giving us all a good look behind me, where I did last night. Trying to talk about random stuff. I don't want to talk about Phoebe Cates or Olivia Newton-John, though, because it seems to be upsetting some people. Some people have been like, OMG. What would your wife think if she knew you were talking about these crushes you had on these movie stars back before she was even born? She just LOL. I mean, she wouldn't R on the F or nothing. I saw that. But she sure would LHAO. I don't want to be out here in the dark again tonight, so let's go on and get on up there in the woods. But my point was to appease those of you who don't want to hear me talking about these 80s crushes. I got some totally awesome information we can talk about. I mean, sure, it's probably useless, but it will at least make it look like I'm not looking, and that's the main point anyway. I want to include everybody in these things, so... Let's do one wide sweep of the entire tree line over there before we walk right into it so we know what we're walking into. All right, let's get on up there into them there potential Bigfoot Sasquatch woods. It's a mockingbird. Seems to be pretty upset. That means it sees something, and my cat Cleopatra is not out here with me. I don't think it's upset with me. I fed him today. See if we can reach out there and touch someone. Someone suggested we do that this time. Let's listen. Okay, so... while I sit here and make it look like I'm not looking, I'm going to read you guys some of this stuff. I'm not going to hold it up because I don't want to block your view. I mean, that's what this is all about, seeing what we see back there. But I don't want the folks, I'm not going to talk about Phoebe Cates this time. I'm going to talk about some other useless information that's pretty awesome according to this book. People often say that, what are you doing chasing Bigfoot Sasquatch? This is a homesteading channel. Yeah, well, here you go. First thing I look at in here. A geep is a cross between a goat and a sheep. That's what it says. An armadillo can walk underwater. There are more than 100 million dogs and cats in the United States. That's like one for every 3 people. An estimated 80% of creatures on Earth have 6 legs. That's what it says. This is appropriate because of the snow. Antarctica is the only land on the planet that is not owned by any country. People who are lying tend to look up and to the left. The polar bear is the only bear that has hair on the soles of its feet. This protects the animal's feet from the cold and prevents slipping on the ice. Oh, now what was that? Should we go deeper into the forest? Did you hear that? Oh. Get my 6. And I saw that. Bats always turn left when exiting a cave. The magic word abracadabra was originally intended to be spoken to cure hay fever. A sheep, a duck, and a rooster were the first passengers in a hot air balloon. Some more homesteading info for you, haters. I got a rooster. His name's Roger. You think there's nothing to this stuff? Listen. The only person to ever play golf on the moon was astronaut Alan Shepard. His golf ball was never found. A lot of people say they want picture-proof evidence. I didn't make this up. I did not write this book. Hold on. The hummingbird is the only bird that can fly backward. Flamingos can only eat with their heads upside down. There is no such thing as blue food. Even blueberries are purple. I thought I saw blue snowballs in a 7-Eleven last week. You remember those? They're like a snack cake, and they got, this book must be old. A funambulist is another name for a tightrope walker. Clouds fly higher during the day than it. night. The right lung takes in more air than the left lung. The human tooth has about 55 miles of canals in it. Wow. Okay, well, I guess either we did or we didn't see anything tonight. We won't really know until we take a look at the tape. So I'm just gonna remember what I said earlier about hearing tree knocks when it thinks I've turned this thing off. So I guess I'm just gonna turn this thing off here in about 3 seconds and go home. So we're gonna turn this phone off in 3, 2, 1. Keep looking and listening because the phone's not really off right now. Well, that sure was a fun episode of hunting the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch. Glad I got all that footage here on my phone that's now turned off and no longer recording. I'm just kind of holding it up. Yeah, and maybe that one guy was right. Maybe thoughts of Marissa Tomei might invoke an appearance of a potential Bigfoot Sasquatch. She's still hot.